Hi, I'm Chris from Airwindows, and hey, you can do this. Because this is Airwindows YNotBandpass. And we're getting closer to finishing up the YNot filters. Let me just show this off a little bit. As you can hear, we've got a gain control in here. And you can get some intense distortion there. Or indeed, deep subsonic rumbles. And we have a resonate control. Now remember, the thing with YNot is that these are not smoothed. So the original plugin can't do that. It can't bounce around in this way. You can also hear a little bit of sort of ratchety scrubbing as we go, because again, the whole point of the YNot filters is Y filters had smoothing so that it was a seamless motion here, but people wanted a version of this that could have some zipper noise, that could crackle a little bit. And so that's what you get. And then we have the ResEdge. And that gives you some bizarre side effects out of the resonance. We'll distort it a little bit more. And let's throw lots of ResEdge on and then cut the resonate back a little bit more. So this whole ResEdge thing, it's a pretty strange effect, but that's kind of what this whole plugin is about. It's about making unusual sounds that don't actually happen with your regular filters. You can pull the output back and you can hear that it's really an aggressive effect. But you can also clean it up, taking the ResEdge and taking it down to even the inverse. Flat is sort of 0.1, but you can smooth it off even more. And what we can do is dial in some of the depth of this reverby sound that I have going on here. We'll put the output back a little bit. You can pull the resonate back a little bit, and we've got a slightly different quality here. You can hear that crack going on there. or we can listen to what it's doing in the deep bass, since this is a cathedral type of sound, so we're listening to what the super lows are like. There, that's like nice rumble going on. A little bit of a change that is not represented by the plugin. A bit of a sneak preview there for something else I'm going to tell you. And we can pull the resonate right back to next to nothing. It still makes a sound. And so there we have minimal ResEdge, resonate at minimal, which is still making a sound. We'll do some brightness. You can hear sort of the hats swishing away there in an interesting way, which is not quite raw mic capture. And the reason for that is because this is a recording of the Bricasti Cathedral preset, alternating every few beats with one of my plugins. Now, if you know your stuff, you should be able to tell when it switches over, because it's switching over every couple of times. Now, which one is which, I'm not going to tell you. We just had a little bit of a loop there as well. I'm not going to tell you which one is which. One of these is Bricasti reverb on the Cathedral preset, running through my full-on analog mixer and going, the sound is going out the analog, out the aux end of the Heritage audio into the Bricasti, which is coming back in to the mixer, which is then being captured by a Lavery Black converter, and one of them is my plugin. So it's not done. We're not quite done. There's a little more to be done as far as getting into the zone. There's some ways that the Bricasti performs that I would like to bring the plugin up to speed with. But what you're hearing is when it breaks beat, it's switching back and forth between the real hardware inside the full-on analog mixing system with the Heritage audio mixer and just a plugin. So I am hard as work, as you can see. And yeah, so that was fun. I hope you enjoy YNotBandpass. Again, this is similar to the other Y plugins that I've been doing, where they came out with control smoothing and I was asked for a lack of control smoothing. And it came in real handy because I had work to do. And among which is not just the Bricasti stuff, but also the promises I've made as far as having a new console version coming out. And that's pretty stressful, honestly. Because the console is ConsoleMC, which is the MCI, I feel obliged to be able to record like a crisp version of Back in Black just to demo it with, and that's not really practical because I've been working on making reverbs and not playing guitars or bass or, God forbid, drums. So I'm not a good enough musician to do some of these things. But what I'm making is plugins for stuff. It's your job to have music that you want to make and be able to make it using the stuff that I let you have. Me being able to make the coolest music in the world isn't really part of the deal. Nobody's demanding that I be able to do that. I'll do the best I can. But I think the plugin's coming fairly well. And my hope is that I can put out ConsoleM3 before the end of October. Did I say M3? I mean MC, ConsoleMC. Based on the concept of an MCI console, and in every way kind of expanded outwards a little bit. So you get a little bit more of the crazy bass enhancement. You get a little bit more intensity on the mid-range boost. Everything should be able to get the sounds of the big console, but as a plugin. And also you can push all the extremes a little farther than you could otherwise. Because why not? If you're going to have the opportunity to have something like that, why not just do it about the sound and then make the sound expand outwards to go even farther? And I'll see how that goes. It's really weird. Like, I have not been able to do live streaming because I've been working on all this so hard. And I keep trying to figure out ways that I can do the live streaming and not stress out too much about it and fit that into what I do. And I always keep fooling with the technology of the live streaming and stuff. And that is interesting too. But bottom line, I just want to do what I do. And the more challenging the stuff I attempt, the less time and effort I can put into like video promotion and live streaming and all that other kind of stuff. So typically for me, what I do is just double down on doing the work that I care about, and everything else just has to take care of itself. That said, I'm still putting out like a plugin a week, so it could be worse. I could just drop out of sight until I come back with the next version of Console. Who knows how long from now? That's not going to happen. I have way too many reverbs that I can do in order for that to happen. But if you like me doing this line of work, I am supported by Patreon. It is going fine, so you don't absolutely have to, but the way that I'm able to do this kind of stuff is because Patreon exists and because I'm able to have this type of thing as my day job. Also, if you like the video and subscribe to it and watch my videos when they come out, then YouTube will like me better. And hopefully that'll work out and be a thing. We shall see. In any case, my priorities are in order. And the priorities for the moment are deliver on this promise of being able to do the Bricasti things, which I've just hopefully demonstrated a little bit of for that first one, because I always gravitated towards the cathedral because the noises that I make and the music that I make, I just love those big reverbs. But I have examples of all the ones that are more popular than that. And if I can do the cathedral, I could do any of them. And we shall see. And then, of course, there's the versions of Console to come out as well, where I'm trying to capture the general vibe of what it is working with these kinds of sounds and being able to get stuff to come together in a mix and get the end result that you want that doesn't just sound like it was made in a laptop, even though increasingly I'm moving more and more towards being able to do stuff where, like I keep saying, I'm Chris from Airwindows and you can do this, because you should be able to download all of this stuff, run it in the box and do a darn good job of making whatever noises you can imagine or whatever noises I can show you how to make with free and open source software, and you should just be able to do it. I don't see why not. So wish me luck with the reverbs and things. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.